All right, so I'm going to begin here with section 9, what my plan is. So I'm going to meet with my building leadership team, BLT, and then the district leadership team as well, the DLT. I want to make sure that we are all on the same page and that they can support me while our district works to make this transition happen. The building leadership team will be important for making sure that this transition can happen within our building. And then the district leadership team can kind of get an insight of what might be expected in their buildings over time. Or if it's already expected of them, they could also be a system of support for myself and for the teachers who are on the BLT and will be required to help me make this transition in our building. I want to set up one-on-one meetings with the teachers that I also believe are going to be my largest naysayers. Not that I want to hear automatically all the negative things that they're going to say, but I really want them to know how important it is that they're on my team. And there's nothing wrong with your negatives or your naysayers, because a lot of times they bring up a lot of important ideas or thoughts that maybe haven't been thought all the way through. And sometimes they do tend to poke holes in your plan, which is what you need in order to be successful. They think of the other things, the negative things that maybe people who are really on board haven't thought of. So they are important in this transition as well. I want to work on getting them on my side, but I also want to develop my list of choices that I will be offering to staff. I want to set up a meeting for all my staff to attend to allow for productive conversations that state why we need a change and what our goals will be for the students. I will also have research that I can provide to them for better clarification. I will set my expectations and provide them with a list of options that they will choose from. I'm also going to have set up checklists for every option so they don't feel like they're completely alone. I will be setting up check-ins with my staff. I want to either do that based upon the choice that they choose or their subject matter. And I will also elaborate the fact that we are open for change, that we are going to allow time to reflect. So if what we're doing doesn't work for quarter number 1, maybe we can tweak it and try it out for the second quarter. But the path to culturally responsive assessments, increased digital literacy, and technology embedded in our lessons and in our work will be a requirement for all staff. Next, I want to touch on my standard. So the standards that were selected for this course are 4.1 through 4.4. I do believe that I have met all of the requirements of this assignment through the standards. I was able to evaluate the scenario that was provided to us, and throughout the presentation, I developed a plan of action that I believe is best suited to follow through with my staff. I weighed out my pros and cons of implementing a high-quality, technology-rich curriculum program for academic and non-academic purposes. I was also able to increase digital literacy through the school's academic and non-academic systems. And as a staff, with my set plan, we would be able to evaluate, develop, and implement formal and informal assessments that are culturally responsive and accessible while supporting data-informed instructional improvement with student learning alongside student well-being. My plan of action requires collaboration from all to implement within our school's curriculum, instruction, technology, data systems, and assessment practices by systematic means. My plan also allows for change and flexibility to occur so that way we can make sure that we are meeting students' needs. So my relevancy and my reflections. So this assignment was relevant to my current learning by providing me with a real scenario of what I could come across in my time as a school leader. It provided me with the opportunity to synthesize the research that I have read throughout this course and implement it into making a decision to help students and teachers. It will impact what I do as an educator by giving me the knowledge to take a look at my own teaching style to make sure that I am culturally responsive to all and that I am meeting the needs of my students, tying in digital literacy and using technology that's going to benefit my curriculum. This assignment will impact my future as a building principal because it has given me the steps needed to help me make a big decision. It is important that when I am faced with big decisions like this or a scenario like this as an administrator that I follow the guidelines of a case study. Case studies throughout my coursework has helped me identify the problem, make a note of who is affected, what the research has to say, what are my options, what's the best choice, and how can I implement my plan. Finally, I want to leave you with the references that I used and noted throughout my case study. Thank you very much for your time and have a great rest of your summer.